What it do, baby? It's your boy Enrico, and I'm back again. This time, can I holler at y'all about the Eastern Conference second round series between the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers, man. The Pacers then punched back, y'all. It's the opposite of the Timberwolves Nuggets series, where the home team has lost all the games in that series. In this series, the home team has defended home court each time. And the series is tied 2-2. New York took the first two at home. They came to Indiana. The Pacers has answered, punched back, and they took in the last two. Now, the injuries and the battle of attrition is starting to catch up to the Knicks, y'all. The Knicks, we all been, everybody that know the sport, been covering the sport, been covering this series, know that Thibodeau, we know his style. We know what that lends to. He puts a lot of workload on his main guys, and the Knicks are just starting to run out of bodies, y'all. OGs went down during the series. Mitchell Robinson went down during the series. Bogdanovich went down at the end of the last series. That's three key rotation players. Well, it's one starter and two key bench players right there. Not to mention Rand already being injured. Not to mention Brunson's banged up. Not to mention Hartenstein got banged up yesterday. Not to mention Hart got banged up game 3. So you see where we're just heading. The battle of attrition, it looked like it's catching up to the Knicks. They're a hard-nosed, rugged, physical team, and that doesn't lend itself well when you're starting to succumb to injuries. You're starting to succumb to people getting, overworked because of their usage and the workload that they're carrying. Josh Hart, he can't play every minute, every game, man. Hartenstein, he basically the only big right now. Achua came in and did pretty good. DiVincenzo, he stepped up. He's playing above his head, but how long is that going to last? And all of that came to fruition yesterday, where the best players didn't step up. They didn't get a huge performance from DiVincenzo. They didn't get a huge performance from Josh Hart. They didn't get a great performance from Hartenstein. So once all that equals up to a loss. When Alec Burks is your leading scorer in a playoff game, you're in trouble. Alec Burks played 23 minutes off the bench, and he led the team in scoring with 20 points. 2 of 6 from 3. 5 of 11 from the field. Alec Burks. Brunson led the starters with 18 points. He's the only starter to score in double figures. The only starter for the Knicks to score in double figures. He had 18. 6 of 17 from the field. 0 of 5 from 3. And let me give a shout out to the Pacers, man. They're doing a hell of a job. Obviously, like I said, the options and the resources the Knicks have at their disposal are limited right now. So I'm not going to make it seem like the Pacers are just playing all-world basketball against a legitimate New York Knicks team. That's not what's going on. This is the compromised New York Knicks team. So we gotta make sure we preface that. But for them to make Brunson go 6 of 17 and score 18 points, no other starter in double figures, that's a very impressive box score for the Pacers. Like they're not known for a defensive team, but yesterday, they played a spectacular defensive game. Spectacular. And kudos to them. Shout out to them. Like they stepped up when they needed to step up. They knew if they went back to Madison Square Garden for game 5 when the series and they was down 3-1, they knew that was a recipe for disaster. And they came out like they were the desperate team. They punched New York in the mouth. They went up early and they never looked back. Neesmith is doing a spectacular job on Brunson. He's putting a lot of pressure on him. He's making it hard for him to be effective. He's a longer, bigger, strong defender compared to Brunson. So he's making it very tough for him. Even when he's not on him, Nembhard is doing a very good job. TJ McConnell is doing a great job. So if you look at the way they're covering and defending Brunson, they're not giving him anything easy. They're keeping bodies in front of him, and they're just making it difficult for him. And if you take him out, there's nobody else on the team that's really going to, hurt you as far as making plays for themselves and others consistently. Josh Hart going to do it at times. DiVincenzo going to do it at times. But consistently, nobody else on the Knicks roster is equipped to make that happen enough for you to, for enough to beat the Pacers in the series, in my opinion. So, everything is like, all the momentum, everything is going towards Indiana right now. Now, the series going back to New York, game 5, obviously that's going to give New York a boost, give them a edge, Obviously, the Knicks have a better chance of getting favorable calls when they're at home. That's another thing. When the series swung back to Indiana, I mentioned that the Pacers probably gonna get a more fairer whistle, especially after Rick Carlisle put the spotlight on that fact. By submitting all those calls to the league and making the big stink about the calls or whatnot, which he was more than valid for doing. Like, I felt the same way. Like, the Knicks were just getting an unfair whistle. I didn't like to see that as a basketball fan. So obviously that switched up when it went to Indiana. And you see how the games went. It was a more fair game, and the Pacers beat them. Now, when they go back to New York, we don't know. If it's a good chance that the whistle is going to be on the Knicks side, and it's not going to be fair. It's going to be on the Knicks side, which will give them an advantage to win, just like Game 1. You know what I'm saying? So, or Game 2, whatever one that was, where I feel like they really, got helped out by the whistle. If that's the case, anything can happen. The Knicks clearly can win this game, and they can get the momentum back, and they can be in a position to close out the series for Game 6. But they're going to need to. If they don't win Game 5, they're going to lose this series in 6 games. They will lose this series in 6 games. The Pacers will beat them 4 straight times, and they will be gone. They just don't have enough horses right now. They don't. The horses, they don't have enough horses in the stable. Brunson banged up. The main horses they do have, they're banged up. They're not even healthy. I just don't see it. I just don't see it happening. I just don't see the Knicks. I just don't see them pulling this out. It's possible though. If they win this Game 5 at home, I will probably give the Pacers Game 6 at Indy, and then coming back to Madison Square Garden for Game 7. They clearly have a chance. I mean, it's New York. It's the New York Knicks. It's Game 7. They're gonna have. They're going to have a lot of factors working, in their favor, let me say. So, would it be impossible for them to win? Of course not. But it's just not looking good. The battle of attrition, Thibodeau wearing them boys down. It's starting to catch up. OG, I knew he wasn't coming back no time soon. That hamstring going to take a little while. Brunson not 100%. It's not looking good. Halliburton, he done turned the last couple games. Shout out to Tyrese Halliburton. His 3-point shot coming alive. Pascal Siakam playing good. Miles Turner played pretty good these 2 games at home after playing horribly in New York. So Miles Turner, make sure you pack your lunch with you and bring whatever the hell that you had at home with you, bring it with you to New York so you can play the same way. Because you played horrible in New York, my boy. Horrible. I don't know if it's the bright lights, Madison Square Garden. I know last year Jared Allen he looked like he was shell shocked every time he went in the Garden, and you look like you was the same way. So you need to tighten up. Obi Toppin, he wasn't tripping. He loved the Garden, obviously. He's ready to go off every time. So Obi Toppin, shout out to you. He might be an X factor in this series going forward. TJ McConnell, shout out to you. He's clearly an X factor. Aaron Nesmith, shout out to you. Playing great defense, playing great basketball for the Pacers. Andrew Nembhard, same for you. Playing great basketball, consistent, energy. Y'all putting y'all imprint in the game. Y'all might not have the greatest numbers. Y'all might not be scoring a lot, but y'all are affecting the game with y'all defense, y'all energy, all that. So I'm going to give him a big kudos, big shout out to the Pacers. Rick Carlisle, he's the champion head coach. Shout out to you, Rick Carlisle. Shout out to the Pacers, man. Shout out to the Knicks, too, man. It's a great series. It's a tough, rough series, old school Eastern Conference type of series. We're going to see how this thing shake out, man. I kind of feel sorry for the Knicks. I had previous videos kind of going on the Knicks, going off about how the NBA trying to help them. They get a lot of calls, which is true. But I'm not a Knicks hater, y'all. I'm not a Knicks hater. For all the Knicks fans out there, I don't hate y'all team. I just don't like that y'all get an unfair advantage all the damn time. Because y'all New York, and they want y'all to win. They want that TV market. They want the numbers. I'm not stupid. Everybody not stupid. We know what's going on. But I don't hate y'all. I want y'all to, to succeed if y'all deserve, if y'all earn it. And I don't like to see y'all hurt up and all broke up and not having a great chance to maximize y'all season. I don't like that. But it's unfortunate. It is what it is. It is what it is. Nobody was crying for Philly, about how Embiid was gimpy and all that when y'all beat them. So it is what it is. That's what happens. So y'all gonna have to figure it out. If not, I'll see y'all next year in New York. Pacers, same thing with y'all. Y'all gonna have to figure it out. I'll see y'all next year. The series is up for grabs. Y'all already know Game 5. The winner of Game 5, wins the series 80%, 80+% of the time. In a tied series, that's 2-2. So we're gonna see how this thing turn out, man. It's looking good so far. So we're gonna see who gonna rough it off, man. So that's my thoughts on the Pacers-Knicks series so far. It's your boy Enrico. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. You already know, like, comment, subscribe. Definitely comment, definitely like, definitely subscribe. You know, I love the feedback in the comment section, so I appreciate y'all for showing me any love, man. And it's your boy Enrico, man. Make it y'all best sound. So next time, peace.